Welcome all. So we will see the second part of this suspension testing rig. So this tutorial is about creation of anti-roll bar for the front wheel arrangement. So I will run first animation and we will see how this anti-roll bar is created. So first let me run this animation. So in this we have to create one guiding curve or spline, and by using that spline curve we have to create FE part, and we will use some bushing or bearings. In actual there will be bearings, but we will use here bushings, or also bushing or bearing. Bushing is a force element where we define its stiffness values. So we can see this deformation and all this of the anti-roll bar. So we will start with the modeling part. So what will I do? I will deactivate existing anti-roll bar. I will deactivate. Then these are the curves I have created earlier, so I will hide this deactivated part. So automatically associated elements will get deactivated. Here in force section you will see bushing is also deactivated. I will show how bushing is created. So what I have done, I have created cylinders, dummy cylinders here, which is connected with this suspension arm, lower arm. It will starting point is at center of this rod, and I have extended it up to 40 mm or 30 mm as per your wish. So I will keep this cylinder as it is. So these cylinders are act as a arms for mounting of this anti-roll bar. Also I will this joint will get already deactivated. I will hide this. What I will do, I will also deactivate this. So I will create from scratch. Sorry, it should be hidden. Arm 2 or with arm 1 on that side. So deactivate, then hide. So these joint are also deactivated. So in connector section you will see these are the deactivated. So just hide this so that it will not create any confusion when we will create this part. So first we will create these two arms. So if we see arm 1 and arm 2 cylinders, so it has a length of 40 mm. I have kept a radius of 5 mm. So I will create this first. So here if you see, this is a cylindrical part at the center. So we will choose starting point at this center. So there is a previous marker already available. If it is not there, it's okay, because it will prompt the center automatically. So go to in bodies, cylinder. So make sure that this is a new part. So here you can choose center of this cylindrical body and click OK. Click randomly anywhere, we will change it later. So part 1 I will give name as a A1, arm 1. So go to this marker, which is a position marker. We will change the orientation. Let me see what is the orientation of marker. So it is a 180, 90, 180. So it will orient its position. You don't need to rotate it. So 180, 90, 90. So orientation, if you read the documentation of Adams, so it uses Euler's rotation. So it uses 313 principle. Go to the cylinder. length we will make as 40 and radius is 5 mm. Apply. So we'll repeat same procedure here also. So go to the body, cylinder, check here, click anywhere, rename as a A2 or arm 2, then go to this marker, orientation is 180, 90 and 180. So just read the documentation of Adams, so it will be clear how to use that orientation. Length is 40, radius is 5, apply. Okay, so it is now properly created. Okay, now we will create that FE part. So what I have done, I will show these parts. So basically these are the spline curves. So what I have done, so I will go to in top view. So first I will shift this coordinate system to one of this cylindrical part. So go to the settings, working grid, set orientation, let's say I will keep XZ, so that top view it will be. Set location peak, so I will keep it at this center, top center of cylinder. Click OK. So now it is in top view, so it will be easy for us to draw these splines. So click on top view, so you can see grid is in top view position. So what I have done, so I have created these 3 splines. So randomly you can create splines. So first starting at this point, second, third, fourth, it requires minimum 4 points, and I have mirrored this spline about marker which is the center of mass of this frame. So this is the part 8, this one, and I have joined these two, this one spline and this one spline with this spline. So and later what I have done, I will show this. I have created one spline, show, which will be stressed using previous splines. So we will use same points for creation of these. So what I will hide. So just I will show the points. What are the points? So these are the points. So these are the points where you can create this point, or you can later edit these points for creation of spline. So from screen you can note down these points for creation, or you can create. Just I will show how can you create spline. So go to the here construction and click on spline. So choose one point, first point, you have to choose second point, then third point and fourth point, then right click. So it shows it requires minimum 4 points, so we have not taken 4 points. First, second, third and let's say fourth, click and right click. So this curve is created now. So here where is a frame, center of mass of frame is here. So what I will do, I will mirror this part. So select this part by clicking, go to here top bar, right click, here is an option called position rotate object. So click, check this selected part, then copy, and angle is 180, and then we have to use this this line, or we can choose y direction of that center of mass marker. Okay, so part 114 is created. it is not visible here, I think here. So basically it has gone to the top side. Why? Because center of mass marker is at this position and our spline is at this position, so mirroring will not be accurate, so orientation is not also accurate. So we will delete this one. Go to the top view again. So what we will do, we will create spline directly here. So point 1, point 2, point 3 and point 4, right click, so it is created. So it looks similar, but you can edit the points. So if you see, you can edit points and adjust it. So make sure Z is identical for each point. Then we will create one more spline between these two. So first point, second point, click anywhere, it should be straight. Third point and fourth point is this, right click. So now these are the 3 dummy curves we have created. Now once again go to the spline, choose this point. So what we have to do, we will select this control by using control, so that these points will be visible to us. Now go to the spline, check this one, first point, second point, just click on this already point available point, second, third point, fourth point, next one fifth, next one this, then this. Now click this one and last one this, and right click. So it has created a point spline for us. Basically we have traced these points and we will get the similar counter. So basically you can see here it is not properly created, so we have to edit these points. So you can edit by using this table, where it is. In this table you can edit, make symmetric one, 150, 120, 70. So make here as a -80. Okay, apply. So this way you can create, just you have to adjust points little bit, so you can play with the points. So I will not waste much time in this, so I will delete this construction. So I will keep it as it is, so my previous curve. So part show, I will hide this appearance of name visibility off. So this is a one spline for creating the what we can say EFE part. So if you look in top view, so this will be the guiding curve for this. So click or observe the 3D view whether this spline is in properly in plane. So any point should not be out of plane, so it will, otherwise it will create out of plane geometry. So now we will change the setting of grid. Our work is now finished. So set location as the global origin and orientation is XY, original one. So now, and go to the FE part. What I have done, there are 2 markers available. So if there are markers not available, don't worry, I have created that. So go to the force section, not force section, bodies. Here you will see flexible bodies, and from that create FE part. So create, give name as a roll bar. Material, you can create material or choose material. I have kept as a steel 3D beam keep these values as it is. Then define by using curve. So right click here, it is asking spline, so pick this spline. So it is selecting the guiding curve. Click next. Then we will create, let's say, 40 nodes. Click on insert. So there will be total of 42 nodes. Then click on evenly distribute, so that each node will be at equidistant position. Then you have to create section here. So create section. We will create solid circular, radius is a 5. Calculate properties from geometry, or you can specify, but it will be always good to keep as it is. Calculate properties from geometry. So okay, section 2. Now here there will be uniform section. Okay, then finish. So it will take some time depending on number. Okay, now it is created. Now we have to create joints for this. So first go to the connectors. Then there will be spherical joint between this arm 1, A1, let's say, and this lower suspension arm, LCA, right? Position will be at this bottom. A1 marker, or okay. Similarly on this side also, click on this cylindrical joint, or sorry, spherical joint. Body, first body as a arm 2, A2. Second body is this lower arm, LCA left. So if you are using different name, make sure that you are selecting that marker. Okay, so this one is created as spherical joint. Now there will be CV joint, or constant velocity joint, between this anti-roll bar or sway bar, sometimes it is also called as sway bar, and between this arm. So here if you go create constant velocity joint or CV joint, or also you can create universal joint or hook joint. Working will be same, but we will prefer CV joint. So click here, CV joint. It is asking us to select first body. So first body is A1, this arm R1. Second body is a roll bar, I have given this name. Location will be at starting point of roll bar. What will do, I will keep escape, I will hide this frame for better visualization. From this side we can see clearly. Press R for rotating. Now create CV joint. First body as A1, arm 1. Second body is this roll bar. Location at this center. You can choose start node. Then you have to define the direction vector. It is asking select the first direction vector. You can read the instruction below bar. So you have to select first direction is along this axis of cylinder. So right click, it will prompt proper direction, and second direction will be along this rod axis. So it is asking as center marker Z. Okay, sorry, this should be in this direction, but let's say it will work. Then for this side also, first body is A2, second body is a roll bar. Location this one. First direction vector along Y, second Z, Okay, let it be this upward direction be okay, no problem. If we will see how it is working. Now we have to create bushing at two locations. There will be requirement of bushing, so just I will show in force menu. Here I will just show the what is a bushing. So go to the forces. Here there is a flexible connections. There are different types of flexible connection. One is the bushing, torsional spring, or you can define by using some matrix, spring damper and massless beam. So here we will use bushing. First body is roll bar, second body is ground location. Here I have created marker, or you can choose already there are markers at node position, you can choose those markers. So here two body one location and axis as a peak feature, not normal to grid. So peak axis should be along this marker. So it will orient z axis of this bushing will be along the length of the bar. Then similarly second roll bar, ground as a second body location, that marker, its axis of bushing would be along the axis of bar. So this bushing we have to define the stiffness and damping coefficient for this bushing. So if we see a little bit zoom, z axis is along the axis of bar, or z axis of bushing is oriented along the axis or center line of the marker. So there should be torsional movement about this z axis. So if we want to allow some motion about z axis, that means there should not be stiffness value in z about z direction in rotation. So if we see the previous bushing, first we have to define translation properties, stiffness, translation stiffness, damping. We will keep damping as 0 because we don't know what will be damping. Then rotational properties, rotational stiffness, rotational damping. So we have to keep translation properties, translation stiffness as high as possible. So we have kept as a 1E4 because stiffness act as a resistance for the motion. So basically we want only rotation of roll bar about its axis, that means about only z of bushing. So we have kept rotation stiffness 0 and all other stiffness we have defined some values. Basically you have to calculate these values, but right now we'll assume some values. So go to the bushing. So here we'll see the unit of stiffness and unit of damping for translation and rotational properties. So here 1E4 comma, keep translation stiffness high so that it will not have any motion in or linear motion in any direction, because roll bar should not have any linear motion. It will have only rotation but about only one axis. So damping will keep as 0. Rotational stiffness, so let's say 2000 about x. 2000 about x means x of bushing. So if we see, this is y axis of bushing, x axis of bushing and z axis of bushing. So z axis of bushing is along the roll bar direction or axis of this anti-roll bar. So basically we want only rotation about this z axis, so that others should have higher stiffness and only 0 stiffness about z axis of the bushing. Don't consider this xyz here. Look for x, y, z of the bushing. So keep as 0, 0, 0. Apply. We will copy this value for second bushing also. Paste it. Control C, Control V here as a 0, 0, 0. If you know these properties, basically these are the stiffness properties and damping properties. So 2000, 2000, and we want rotation about z axis of bushing so that it will be 0 stiffness. That means it is free to rotate about z axis. 0, 0, 0. Click OK. Now we will try to run it. Let this frame should be hidden so that we will visualize. And simulation for 1 second. Run. Make sure it is a dynamic simulation. So FE part is a flexible body, so if there are a warnings, so we will ignore it because there would be some faults in modeling. And run the animation. It will update graphics. So you can see rotation or movement of the anti-roll bar. Observe this contour plot. Here is a less deformation, here is a more deformation. So basically motto of this tutorial is to show how can we create flexible body as anti-roll bar. So once again run it. So one tire is going up, one tire is going down and because of this there would be some stress and deformation of this roll bar. Basically this anti-roll bar prevents the rolling of the vehicle. You may be knowing in automobile engineering. So this way we can create flexible bodies. In one of the tutorial we also have shown how can we create this flexible body using FE part. So you can use this FE part for objects with constant cross section whenever you want some flexible body. So if we don't use bushing, there will be no proper working. Let's say what happens if there are no bushing. Deactivate this bushing. What happens we will see. Press V so that it will show icons, or we will press V if you want to hide the icon. So run it once again. So bushings, whenever there are we want flexible joints or flexible connection between two bodies, we can use these bushings. Also if you place bearing, that also be okay, but I wanted to demonstrate how can we use bushing. So it is like a rotational joint with zero stiffness along the rotation of axis. So you should be aware of axis. See, if there are no bushing, so it will fall because bushing acts as a resistance. Because if we use very low stiffness value, it will fall under the gravity. That's why we use very high stiffness in linear direction so that it will restrict its linear motion. So that's why this is we have to define high stiffness in linear directions and zero stiffness in its rotational axis. So we will run for 2 seconds and okay. Now after running we will go for post processing and we will see how we can extract the output for this FE part. So this tutorial is extension of previous one. In previous one we have seen up to this creating test rig, and this part is about creating the anti-roll bar. So we will see the animation once again. So this model I think I have shared already in previous tutorial. You can go to that and see. Here main part is creating the spline curve, that guiding curve properly, and defining the appropriate number of nodes, defining that CV joint, constant velocity joint, appropriately along the axis of the objects, and creating the bushings. The output is also affected by the position of the bushings, location of the bushings, stiffness values of the bushing. If you want to calculate, you can calculate the bushing values. You can always find the information about this bushing in help menu. So we will close this. Now go to the result tab. Here you can see the animation window. If it is not appearing, right click and you can see the load animation, and it is asking which simulation last run. Okay, little bit rotate it. Then here you can plot the result. Go to the, so you can see the forces on the bushing. So choose last run or objects force. Here there will be bushing. You can see the element force, magnitude. So it is showing the what is the force on that bushing location, what is the torque in that location. You can see x direction torque 0, y direction torque is this much, it is very low, and torque about this head, it is because there is a rotation about z axis of that bushing, so there will be some torque. Okay, so you can calculate the what is the torque on that body. Then FL setup deformation. Okay, this is the deformation of that spring. We can go to the bodies and let's see where is the FE part, roll bar. Expand this roll bar. You can see node start, node end. Force on this point, magnitude 0. It is not properly. You have to select the marker. Which marker? Okay, yes, it is showing the forces on the point. Or you can go to the here, sorry, bodies, plugins, durability section. Click on here, FE part output. You can see FE part output analysis. Guess is last run. FE part, right click, guess there is only one FE part, roll bar. FE part 1 is the deactivated one, so we have created. Second one is the roll bar. Location is node, node name FE node guess. So sorry, so you can choose any node. Let's say I will choose starting node 1, so we will choose only stress, let's say axial shear, this one. Okay, so go to the result tab, this one. Here contour plots. So 1 minus stress, there won't be showing any 1 minus stress. So there was a shear, I think, display legend. So it is not showing because this is the issue of version of the Adams. Stress, normal stress. So go to the again durability, FE part output, axial X shear. Okay, normal X. Okay, this is not showing. This is a problem, maybe arising due to the version, so let it be. So go to the roll bar, node end, node start, total torque, total force at location, add curve. So it is showing force. So this way you can extract output. So there will be some document about extracting the output of FE part, but you have to use some latest version, so that because in older version it may not show. Okay, run the animation. It it will take some time to load. Okay, here we will plot something. Let's say force on bushing, element torque Z. Now run animation, so it will track the motion. So this way you can create this anti-roll bar. If you like, you can comment, share and subscribe to our channel, and just stay tuned for upcoming lecture. If you want to see particular tutorial, just give me in a comment section so that I can prepare that. I will show this frame. Okay, so hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks, and stay tuned for upcoming tutorials.